Hey guys, Tony Cougoule here, pitching coach at Westmont College with Figure It Out Baseball. Part 3 of our warm-up series is going to involve the shoulder tube. I would say this is probably on the high end of equipment that we're going to go through. So there are a couple different options that you can use. I would say the cheapest option would be doing some sort of the same movements we're going to show you with a couple baseballs in your hand. I've seen PVC pipe with weight at the end to try to mimic what the shoulder tube does. So there's some other options, some alternatives to doing this if a shoulder tube is not in your budget and still get sort of the same idea. This is going to do some stabilization through some oscillation and different ranges of motion. So we're going to have Tobe come in and show us some of these movements. Disclaimer, this thing doesn't feel very good if you get hit with it. So you want to make sure if you're doing it in a team setting or you're doing it with a trainer that you give yourself plenty of room, and also be aware of the movements as well, because I've seen guys hit themselves. So I'm going to have Toby go ahead and show you some of the exercises here. We're really trying to stabilize the shoulder, and so he's going to start the movement the correct way, and then we're going to show you some things where we see the movement break down. So he's going to just start with going forward. He gets that shoulder tube oscillating first, and then he's keeping his arm as straight as possible and moving up through a full range of motion. I'm going to have Toby show you the incorrect way to do it, because people try to get the tube oscillating early, and so you're going to see more of a pumping with his elbow. You see that flexion and bending in his elbow to get the tube oscillating and then moving it up. You're really taking all of the work out of the shoulder and not getting the true benefit of what we're trying to do. So the first one was, again, straight arm, get that thing, shoulder tube oscillating up and over your head. Now he's going to do the same thing, and he's going to go to the side. 2 to 3 times, up and back. It doesn't have to be a 30 or 45 second movement. You will feel these. They're going to burn out your shoulder, and you're going to get a good warm-up with the shoulder tube. So again, you saw forward, now to the side. Now you're going to see him do internal-external rotation. So now he is going to bend his elbow, and he's going to bring that shoulder tube internal-external. The one thing I like about the shoulder tube compared to some other things is not only do you get the side-to-side movement, but it's also kind of going in a circle as well. And so you really have to stabilize that shoulder, and it's going to light you up pretty good. Okay? So once he goes through the internal-external rotation, now he's going to go into pronation and supination. So thumb down is pronation, and thumb up is supination. So you'll see him just kind of work through that range of motion. Again, trying to keep his arm as straight as possible. This one's a little bit tougher to keep that elbow straight, but that's the goal. So the last movement that he's going to do is going to be a full throw. So this is the most advanced and probably the hardest to get through, and maybe the most dangerous for your own head. So be careful when you're taking this from your loaded position, your throwing position, all the way through to your finish. So he's basically just mimicking a full throw. He's going from all the way back. You'll see him in a supinated position in the back, all the way to a pronated position. Give me one more of those, Tobe. You see him get oscillating in the back, working through a full throw, really having to stabilize that shoulder and warm it up. So that's our shoulder tube series. So we've gone through 3 parts of our warm-up. We're going to move on to a wrist weight warm-up. We're getting really close to picking up a baseball and starting to throw. But we take our warm-up routine seriously for strength, for health, for arm care. And so you just got a chance to see our shoulder tube series. We're going to move on to wrist weights here. I hope you'll join us for our next video. Again, I'm Tony Cougoule with Westmont College Baseball.